Hello, everybody. Welcome to MLR Tonight with Kev and I. We're gonna be kind of. It might be a short episode today. We're just gonna kind of go through some things to start with. We're not gonna focus so much on games, but first, hey Kev, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. That was a pretty good intro. I don't know, our graphics department is stepping up their game.
Right? I love that intro.
Yeah, that
We
was
should give
pretty
the guy
good.
a raise. I should actually
Yeah.
pay that guy. Somebody should pay that guy.
I like it.
Yeah, but you probably would need. I mean, I'll tell you what your picks are and what the games are, but maybe
Oh
go back to
yeah.
stream and get get a memory jog. We're gonna go back to where we ended off last episode with just kind of going through the picks that we made last time for session 9. Now that session 9's a little bit into itself, we can kind of reflect on what's going on. So yeah, we're gonna start with Arizona at Oakland. And Kevin, you want to talk about your pick and how that game's going on?
Uh yeah, so I picked Oakland. I think did they win last session? I think they were coming off a Jay Schwizzle. Or no, I don't think they no. Oh yeah, they did. They did win because they were 3-4. Um but I kind of, expected them to go into this game with their two, newly found pitching whatever
They're pitching whatever's.
for them. It's 9-0 Diamondbacks, and the inning's not over. Still in the third, so we'll see. We'll see how that ends up. But Sal picked a hell of a game to just let up, a bunch of offense.
Yeah, my internet's kind of bugging, so hopefully it doesn't affect the stream too much. I blame my school, but yeah, I think we just got kind of railed by the Diamondbacks offense. I mean, we keep thinking that the pitching is gonna fail them, but I mean, the offense is always there. It's always potent. We always knew that. It's been like this for the entire history of the Diamondbacks, and yeah, we just see a 9-0 just trouncing so far that kind of took both of our picks off guard. It's very cool to see that kids actually pitching well. Not to say that he can't, but because he's very underrated on a staff like this, which is probably put in the same group as the Dodgers, where they're not taken seriously at all. But I think Diamondbacks have
Yeah,
more case to actually be taken seriously.
yeah, and also they really have pitchers that you want to succeed. If you know what I mean, like Sidkin and Einhorn, you want them to do well. So
Are you saying you don't want Cameron Brake
no,
and Marcel Hoffer to
they
succeed?
the Diamondbacks pitching has this quality to them that you just want to see them succeed. I feel like. Also, Match got his first hit in this game, so
Yeah, you're right. Did you just did you hear that? I actually got the Dodgers pitchers right from memory
yeah, I know, right? That's pretty good,
on the spot.
or bad, or really bad, because they're not known for their
Well,
great pitching.
I've to them, so I guess that's why I kind of have their names in the back of my mind.
Oh,
I'm gonna quickly
they
go.
picked someone else up too, the new free agent pitcher.
Um,
Um, I can commit or something.
Hold on. I'm being told by one of the newbies that one of us is louder than the other, but he's not. He didn't say who. I'm gonna turn you
um,
down and
yeah,
see
turn me
if
down.
it probably is you, and I'll turn myself a little bit up.
I'm
Problem with
so
my mic
sorry.
is the problem with my mic is that it has sharp S's. Maybe my let's make sure. Yeah, my microphone's okay. All right, so yeah, my mic has sharp S's. So I usually turn it down, so that might be a problem. But yeah, you tell me if it's good or if it's bad or if I need to do more. I'll check the chat from time to time. The thing about this being live is that I can kind of correct anything that needs to be corrected instead of finding out in post, which always sucks. But yeah, okay, so let's continue.
Ju motherfucker, you misspelled my name.
Did I?
Yeah, it's two N's and one R
Where did I misspell it?
in the title of the stream.
Oh, I was kind of rushing that. I'm gonna keep that.
That's fair.
Fuck
Oh yeah, no, that's perfect.
it.
Okay, yeah, so Dodgers, or no, sorry, Arizona, Oakland. We both picked Oakland, and we are wrong about that so far. We'll see.
Yeah, but how about San Francisco, LA? Speaking of the Dodgers pitching, let's look into that. I'm gonna bring up those games real quick. Do you have them up?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So what do you think about them?
Um, Pretty low scoring game so far, but we're still in the third. All these games are pretty early on still. But I had the Giants, and so did you. And the Giants are down, 0-1.
My mind, for some reason, it looked at Rocky Moon and how he was switched from second base to shortstop, and my mind, for a split second, perceived those characters as a swastika. I don't know why. I think it's like my
I
inner.
see what you mean.
I think it's like my inner German coming
If
out
you like turn your head a little bit, yeah,
and just kind of flick your eyes real quick.
yeah.
Yeah, Scotty Smalls. I need to get him on here someday. He needs to call home runs like this because he just
Oh
hit a
yeah.
lot. So
Is that the scoring? Oh yeah, that's
Brady,
all he's scored in the game so far.
Brady though, he's going 2 in a row, right? This is his second in a row. I'm pretty sure he
Yeah.
pitched last
I don't
game.
think he. Oh yeah, that was a big offense game.
Yeah, he didn't do so well. But
Yeah, no. I mean, and if you look at his line right now, he's not like killing it or anything either.
3 balls,
3 walks.
Walks. It's not really sustainable, but 4 strikeouts isn't that bad.
Oh, that's true. Is he a strikeout pitcher? I don't know. I think he is.
Well, I left him off the Dodgers pitching staff entirely when
I thought that was the first one. Oh no, you said Cameron Brate, didn't you?
yeah.
Close enough.
Because one time I accidentally I was thinking Cameron Brate because Urge was very new in my system, so I was thinking about the secondary pitcher for the Dodgers instead of the Giants, which I traded for.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I said Cam Urge instead of Owen Urge, and now
Yeah.
everybody calls
Oh
him Cam
god.
Urge because I said that once accidentally. When I was Carolina.
I like the Peter start though,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because they had Matt Petty last time.
Yeah, Peters, I mean, when he starts, you should just expect to win, especially against the Dodgers, even though they have a very potent offense. I mean, I think Peters can handle them pretty well. Only 1 earned run so far. He just needs to keep it up, and shit will be good.
Yeah, that offense from the outfield of the Dodgers is definitely going to keep them in the game because they have an amazing outfield.
So I haven't gotten any complaints about the audio level, so if it's still terrible, just let me know, remember, because I can do something about it.
Cool.
But okay, next game, Washington at the Expos. Let me bring this up real quick. Who's winning in this one right now?
That's an interesting matchup, by the way. Washington and Montreal.
Who's winning right now?
No one. It's 0-0. No hits yet from either team. And Cal Tiberius Jr. has given up a walk, and the Nationals pitcher has given up nothing. Who is that? Garcia? Jay Garcia?
Jerome Garcia. He's one of them. Nationals have flipped their roster upside down, and he's one of the newer. Not really that new though. He's been around for a little bit, but he's a newer face in a team that doesn't really get much recognition. I can't speak.
Recognition.
You said debuting.
Debuting, yeah. Yeah, so in this game, I picked Washington, and you picked Montreal. And I think this was a little bit of a, out there pick, the Washington pick, because, Washington hasn't really done a lot.
Garcia, he has a 6.55 ERA going into this game, so I wasn't really expecting much from him. I mean, the Expos' offense isn't that great, but even if I thought this wouldn't really be much of a different outing for him, but I guess so far I'm wrong. So far I'm pretty damn wrong.
Yeah, I think we also talked about last time about how the Expos, we expect them to not continue their dominance, especially because of the weakness from that offense. Not weakness, sorry. It's just exactly.
They're a very middling team riding the top right now. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I want to I should probably delve into more of why that's happening, like why they're so high, like why they keep winning games. Are they close games? I'm pretty sure.
I don't. I think they're just okay. Like they're okay wins. I don't. I think they've had one game where they had a crazy good offense, but it's not like the Cardinals either though, where the Cardinals won 3 games in a row that were super close, and 2 of them were in extra innings.
Yeah, but
But
then the
yeah,
Cardinals started running away with it
that's
and
true. Yeah,
scored like a billion on the Pirates.
they took the momentum for sure. Also, I think the Expos have given up games to good teams, or to bad teams, if I'm correct. Like their losses,
That's
just
Toronto, isn't it? Toronto's like that too.
um,
It's a Canadian thing.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. Toronto's good though. Like if you look at everything together, Toronto's a really good team.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
if you look at all their team stats, like oh
we
yeah,
can get into them a little bit later. But
yeah.
yeah, so far neither of us are winning that, so I'd give that one a 0. So far none of us are kind of leading the game.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where this goes though, for sure.
Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, we're kind of split on this one, and we're
Yeah.
at a 1-0 contest right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're Phillies GM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprise. Yeah, but I started Pi. He worked pretty well. He struck out Gare Doctor, which I'm sure made his life. But currently we're down by 1 because of a home run.
I'm still
And
way louder, by the way.
are you?
Yep.
Okay.
JD just said so.
Thank you, JD. All right. Well, let me do that then. That should be better now. Speak, I guess, and say test.
Oh God, I'm like super super loud, dude. I just checked the stream. It's like extremely loud.
That's you. That's your fault. You got a loud mic.
Yeah, let me turn myself down.
I mean, I brought you down a few pegs. And I can keep bringing you down. You're kind of.
Okay, I turned myself down. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah. For me, it's no problem. It's just a stream. It's crazy. But yeah, Hudson Quinn. I wanted to start him to get that matchup with Doctor that he really wanted, and he didn't do very bad. He got 3 strikeouts. 2 walks aren't that good, but 1 earned run isn't that bad. He can walk away with a pretty decent outing. But I'm bringing in Urich, who apparently Doc's team has him as Urich and his first initial as U. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on there. Ulysses Urich.
Oh yeah, interesting. Urich. How do you feel about that? About Urich coming in? Urich coming in?
Well,
You feel good about the rest of
I mean, I brought him in, so I mean, I I like Urich a lot. I want to get him more innings. I want to get him more recognition.
So did you have Quinn in to to go against Gare a couple times or
Um, yeah, I mean, that's basically the main reason. I mean, I always like to kind of switch it up. He's been doing pretty decent in all of his relief starts. He's been giving up runs here and there, but not like a blowout or anything. He's been pretty solid. So I figured that I would give him this start, kind of switch it up, give him a redemption from the Indians outing, which kind of didn't go his favor, which was his last start, and that was kind of my since we got a win last week, I wanted to give a little bit more of a lighthearted sort of experimental game here, even if it's against the Pirates. I mean, we're going into the All-Star break. I want to give people some more innings, see what happened. So yeah, I mean, it was more experimental. I knew it would make him happy, so I was gonna be that. Just since we got a win, I had more to lose.
that was a good win?
Yeah, it was against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are. You're kind of cutting out every now and again for some reason.
Maybe because I turned. Oh no.
Yeah, I think that's why. Turn it back up because I can do
Turn
it
me down
manually.
more. 'Cause I just checked. I checked the stream and I'm still like.
Damn, that's a pain in the ass. Well,
What percentage am I at on yours?
negative 3.0 decibels, which is I guess 15% lower or
Do you
20% lower.
come?
I just brought it down another 5%.
All right, we'll see.
I need that
Okay.
feedback from the people though. Keep it
Keep
making
it
sure
coming.
it's okay. Where'd you get something from JD?
Yeah, JD told me.
Was it
JD, yeah, he DM'd me.
Okay. All right. So currently, Kevin has a point on this. So I'm giving this a 1-0 so far, in Kevin's favor. Let's go to Cleveland at Toronto, which is we both picked Toronto. So tell me about what's going on here, Kev.
Another close game. All these, no one has really ran away with them. 2-1 Cleveland right now, but Toronto is Toronto.
Well, I know one game that's gotten run away with, but
Oh,
we can
the
talk
first
about it.
one that Arizona Oakland. Actually.
Well, there's another one that we're gonna get into.
Ooh, good. Yeah. So 2-1, a good amount of offense so far from both of them. Um, Two pretty good pitchers in this one, Sardinka and Foxconn. I don't think Foxconn gets talked about enough, probably because he doesn't have that many innings. But I like, I think Tommy Foxconn on the Indians. Um, he's got a pretty good ERA. I don't know if it's still good because he just gave up 2 runs, but yeah, I don't know. I like him. I think they're gonna keep doing well, but Toronto always has a chance with that offense.
Yeah, Toronto has this 2-1, or Cleveland has this 2-1 lead because um I don't know. I see a lot of optimism in that Cleveland offense. I see some things going like happening. I mean, Dick Pole has been on fire recently. I mean, looking at this game, I know last game he gave up, or he hit 2 home runs, and then he comes in here at the top of the fourth. He hits another home run. He's hit a double. I mean, that trade is looking awful for me right now because Ethan Franklin kind of sucks right now. But let's
He's the
not
guy
get too
that
far into
gave up the
that.
triple play, right?
Yeah.
Ethan triple play Franklin.
Hey, Ethan triple play. I'm going to Oakland Franklin.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how this one goes, but
It's currently the
it's
bull
not,
show right now, though. Yeah.
yeah, it's not looking hot for us across the board so far. If all these games stay the same.
For real, we're about halfway through, and we only have 1 point
One.
awarded.
I think that especially the games that we both pick the same teams, those teams are losing. So
Okay, so Detroit at Tampa Bay, and this is currently the roundup is a 1-1 contest. Now it's a four. Oh, it's a 4-1 contest.
yeah,
So
Tampa Bay put up some runs at the bottom of the first.
yeah, we can
Talk
flip
to
that
me
one around.
about talk to me about Detroit because as of right now, they're a little bit of the I don't know. They get a lot of shit.
I didn't realize they were doing so bad, to be honest.
Yeah, they're 2-6. It's rough. There's there's comments that are made about them, but I don't know. They have some well known bright spots. Valentino Rollin, that's his name, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Durat's amazing. He made the All-Star game, which we'll talk about later. Um, so yeah, I don't know. They're struggling, but
I think it's time for a rebuild. I don't know. I guess that's kind of hard
they
in
try.
this league.
I don't know, dude, because who has done a good job at turning over their roster? Cleveland,
Boston, 100%.
Boston, yeah.
Cleveland, not really. Boston,
Well,
100%.
Cleveland. Oh, in terms of like how it's gone for them.
Well, Cleveland is just too early to sort of judge that, but Boston is definitely like they've gone quickly into just improvement city.
Yeah,
Population Boston.
yeah. I mean, they have the highest current win streak, and when we get to their game later, we'll see. That looks like that's going to hold up. But yeah, Boston for sure. But about this game, a couple of runs coming from Homer from Moore. Oh yeah, about the Devil Rays. Does it feel like, and this is just me, I don't know. It feels like they're no-namers. They're guys who either have just gotten signed or don't get that much playing time or whatever. They just hit homers. They just have these randoms come in on their first start or something, their second start, and they just, hit homers. I feel like since the beginning, something gets posted in chat by the ump, and it's like, oh, Tampa Bay up, blah, 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 with a homer by, and I'm like, who the...
You don't know
in this game,
Mr. K Moore, who I don't know the first name of? I think
I
it's
don't.
Kenneth.
I don't. I had no idea who Kenneth Moore was before that got posted.
Right.
And I feel like that
Kenneth
happened.
Moore.
Constantly. Graham Carp did have that. I think it was Graham Carp had that 2 home run game earlier in the season. JD. I'm sure JD's hit at least one. When Peter Peckershon was on there, he hit one. So the well known ones have that offense, but it's just like I don't know. Their winning culture, says JD. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is, but they make it happen. Whoever they put out there, whoever they start, they get that offense going, and they're up 4-1 right now.
I think that's testament to their scouting team too, whoever it is. I know Dougie was big on that, but he's gone. But I guess they've picked up where he left off.
Yeah,
what were you gonna say?
Which is great. And we both picked Tampa Bay here.
Yeah.
Which not a hard decision, just looking at it on the surface level. Because Detroit's been struggling. Tampa Bay is one of the top teams. So we'll see how this one ends up. But as of right now, 4-1, Tampa Bay.
All right, and let's go into Minnesota and Houston. I really need to open these games up in advance.
Beforehand.
Yeah. But yeah, you want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, so Timber came into this game with some very good stats. He still has some very good stats. But it's it was a scary situation coming in, and a very strong team starting their best pitcher, maybe the best pitcher in the league right now. And he's given up a little bit at the beginning. We were up 1-0 for a while, but they've kind of found their offense a little bit in the third inning here, and it's 2-1 Twins right now. But I think if you look at the Astros offense and what they've done so far, they've gotten a couple of hits. So they seem to have some sort of read number, and we'll see if they can keep that up and put some more runs up.
I think Mike just cried inside when he saw that run score, because I think that might be, and I'm not wrong, but I think that might be the first run that Burr's ever given up that has not been a solo home run.
Really?
Might be wrong, but that was like the longest thing. He used to always sort of brag about that. He had a lot of solo home runs for like the runs he's given up, but I don't think he's ever given up anything other than that.
What was a stat that surprised me is, I don't remember who it was. Somebody said, maybe it was Wilbur, I don't know, that was the first run Burr's given up in over a month or something, or well, I guess that's only 2 sessions. It was some date. It was like when we said, when you were saying the Phillies haven't scored a run since blah blah
that
blah.
Was fun.
It's kind of like that, except for a pitcher. So I don't know. It felt good. It felt good to get that run in. I feel like, for us,
I'd say if anything's a testament to sort of figuring him out, it's that scoring a real hard earned, just keep the line moving sort of run like that.
Yeah,
something that we haven't seen against Burr before.
Yeah.
So this might be more close of a game as we continue. It's a close game now, but it might continue to be a close game. We might see some lead changes back and forth. It'd be extremely fun to watch. But let's move into St. Louis and Colorado, which I do have up now. And this is a Colorado lead, 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. And what did we pick for this? I think
it's 3-1 now, actually. But yeah, I picked St. Louis, and you picked Colorado.
And I figured that St. Louis might have trouble adjusting to the loss from last week. It's always coming from a team that's had good winning streaks. It's kind of hard after you lose the winning streak and get your first loss to sort of pick yourself back up, continue with the morale you had before the loss, and just sort of keep going and put it behind you. It's really difficult for a team to sort of recover from that. And so I felt like, if anything, the team that's been on an upswing, like the Rockies, who have been just extraordinary recently, I figured that their morale, their just confidence would be able to overcome the Cardinals. What do you think?
Yeah, you're exactly right. The Cardinals came off a loss to the Phillies. and the Rockies came off a win on the Giants. So both of them either losing or beating teams that are worse or better than them, respectively, in terms of record at least. So yeah, I mean it's definitely a question of momentum. But I think there's been a lot of talk about Jamison Poe lately. I guess we'll talk about that when we talk about the All-Star game. But I think they're both obviously still in it. I think Jamison Poe has the pitching edge, and the Rockies have sort of the offensive edge. If we're
Yes.
talking about recently.
And speaking of all stars, just to touch on the game, Hayward Jablomi, who I'm pretty sure is the guy who got in for the Rockies as a starter, he hit a home run here to put the Rockies ahead in the first inning. So I saw a lot of detractors for Jablomi, but I think that I don't know, this helps him a lot. I think that this shows that he can really provide for the All Star team. I'm gonna be having to start him, so I'm gonna this really gives me a lot more confidence in him, and I believe he can be a very effective, dangerous hitter for both the All Star game team and the Rockies themselves.
Yeah, he's DH, right?
Um,
I think that's what.
I think he's an outfielder. I think he's like legitimately like he got an outfield
Hmm.
spot. I can look at it right now. I'm pretty sure he got it. I might be talking out of my asshole right now. Nope. Nine fingers. He's DH right now. Who's also in this game.
Oh, oh yeah, on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
A lot of people did. I did see some
I said the
Haywood. Yeah, I did see a lot of Haywood Jablome talk right after the rosters got released. But he's definitely proven it, and this is really what it is, isn't it? Like a prove it session.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who's starting. We'll see if they still look like the clear choice after this.
Yeah, well, I think session 8 was more of the prove it session. I think session 9 is more of the prove that you didn't vote wrong session. Like
Yeah,
this is where it's like, see, I told you I'm good enough,
yeah.
or like, see, you should have voted for me. And
This
I
would have
think
been perfect if
go
George
on.
Ewell hit like 4 homers this game.
Well, the night's still young.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
only 2 homers though.
we were split on that game. I had St. Louis and you had Colorado, so we'll see.
Looks like we're tied 1-1.
Another close one. Oh,
Wait, Minnesota and Houston, we were split too. Who's leading
yeah, we
that
were
game?
split.
Oh,
He's Minnesota is so
so looks like I'm leading.
yeah by one.
2-1. Okay, Baltimore, Seattle. We both picked Baltimore, so this is definitely not. It doesn't really add to the score, but currently the Mariners are beating the Orioles 3-1. I mean, Mariners offense is pretty scary. Uh, I mean, even against the amazing Orioles pitching, it's something that we should maybe expect to happen. But we picked the Orioles because we saw them as sort of an underdog. We hoped that they would kind of sort of go against the grain. Currently, it's not really working out too well. But I mean, what do you think about this game?
Um, well, first of all, I don't think, and this is not even looking at stats. I don't think Rob Pancakes is the Orioles' best pitcher.
Oh, definitely
Uh,
not.
yeah,
Dipper is
and he's
100%.
yeah, it's pretty good. And he's starting this one. So that gives me a little bit of I don't know. It doesn't make me feel as safe in my pick as I would have with Chipper starting and
Done some research.
the a little bit. The Mariners offense has been known to go off though. They have had some games where they just go crazy, but they've also had games where they do that and they still lose. They did it against the Astros. Miwa Langley hit 3 homers that game and they still lost.
Yeah, and if you
So
look at Artie Ziff, he was a guy who choked away the game against the Devil Rays, and he's
yeah,
pitching right
that
now.
too. Yeah. So, they're they don't have a good track record for being able to hold on to leads, however big they may be. But a lot of that isn't, team composition or anything like that. That can be, you can be unlucky. So
Durga O'Leary, who's their
All-Star
All-Star representative, or representative. He has one walk and I think one fly out or one out at bat. So not good, not bad. He's been on base today. So I mean
You
that
know,
race wasn't very close. But do you think we'll go into it later? We'll go into snubs later. But what do you
I
say?
I was looking at it, and the Mariners had a lot of people that were like 2 to 3 in their category. Because obviously Jurgis O'Leary won, but Dill Pickle was up there in the outfielders. He was definitely in there in that conversation. And then they had I think it was like a second baseman or something. Um, that was actually right under JD up until a while ago.
Second
Um,
baseman Lee Allen Ripley,
no,
or
no,
is
he's
he
a third
third
baseman.
base?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's a
okay.
third baseman. It was real quick.
Rex Kadobi or Rob Atkins.
It was Rob Atkins. Yeah, Rob Atkins. I don't think he's starting this game. No, he's not. But yeah, he was right behind JD for the longest time in that voting. So, I mean, they have a couple of they have a couple of good offensive players that aren't the best at their position, but they're up there. Jurgis O'Leary is a monster though, so we'll see if they can keep that offense going, and if Rob Pancakes can keep the runs contained.
Kevin, what do you think about Baltimore Orioles phenom pitcher Charlie Yeager?
Um,
If you look at the Discord.
Charlie Yeager. Oh yeah. Oh, is he saying something because I said about the pitchers?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think he actually started last session. I don't remember how he did.
He's probably gonna do great because you know how like in MLB there's like meme like former M's always do great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Former Diamondbacks. That's the fake baseball
Oh, that's
equivalent.
true.
Because Diamondbacks, like for example, if you look at if you look at their trade with Boston, we basically I saw there was MB and Voorhees were both in discussions, All Star game discussions. I don't know exactly what the details were, but I was like, huh, it's
Voorhees
really
was up
funny.
there. Yeah.
Like
Voorhees.
it's really funny how like the Boston's two high, like basically highest All Star game, because everyone has to have representation. So the two highest All Star game sort of possibilities on the Red Sox roster both happen to be guys that they got from the Diamondbacks.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
really bad luck for them.
And it's also, that trade that they made, they got what's his face? Mort Stifle out of it.
Yeah.
And, I I I don't know exactly how that's gone, but I know he's given up a couple, at least one auto case since then.
Yeah, he's
Maybe not the best one. Maybe not the best trade.
he's gotten a lot of scrutiny. I know Doc is very confident about him still, but
Good.
he's got a lot
Doc's
of scrutiny.
confident in all of his players.
I love Doc. I love Doc.
Yeah.
He's great. Hi Doc. I know you're listening to this.
And just a
Give
little
him a
note.
kiss.
I know we're not going to get too deep into them, but the O's are actually starting again two of their, which is kind of weird because I thought Sherby Fully Loaded, his debut was last time.
He was, yeah. That's not
So
right.
it still says debut. I don't know. But they're starting Nicholas Romero and Sherby Fully Loaded, who were, debuts last game. So they've kept them in that lineup. So they obviously have faith in those rookies. So we'll see. I feel like Pancakes can do it. Keep those runs contained. But the offense for the Mariners, when they have an on day, they have a very
Hashtag or r slash former D-backs.
D-backs.
Get
Yep.
it trending. Texas at Boston. This is the game that has
Yeah.
not gone your way at all.
Yeah. This is not close at all.
6-0 Red Sox. I mean, Mo Lester, who does not know what a flyout is, by the way, has been dominating so far, despite an auto walk. He's really been good since then. He's been good at replying since then, and he's only given up 2 hits. It's just and those were at the beginning of the game. I know he gave up a hit from Morello. Then Morello tried to steal and he got caught stealing. And then he gave up a hit from Summers. And then nothing since. Just been strikeouts and just nothing since. And meanwhile, the Boston offense has just been eating Superbone right now. And I think we could actually see Sonny Streaker make his MLR return this game.
Oh wow, he's on the Rangers now, right?
Yep.
Oh man,
Three Fingers is not having the best day, so I think we could see a call to the pen soon.
you know what? I'm excited for that. I
I
think
am
if
too.
Sonny comes in, he can stop the bleeding. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if the Rangers can come up with 6+ runs, but Sonny Streaker needs his redemption opportunity. I think you'll agree with me when I say that he needs that shot to come in and to just make a name for himself after all the troubles that he's gone through.
I see this being a very big mistake for the Indians and the Nationals. I totally believe in the story of Sonny
Wait,
Streaker.
hold on. You had him on your team as well.
Yeah, but I got a return for him.
Oh
He,
yeah,
I got
the
he
Indians
was a part
they
of
just
Urge. Yeah, they
they
just
just
took him
waived
away.
him, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not complaining about
yeah.
getting Urge in that deal.
And just to give a little bit more history on Sonny Streaker, because I was looking at the season one, whatever. I think he actually started all the games for the Mets
Yeah,
back when the Brewers were the Mets.
it was the era of the one pitcher pitching staff
Yeah,
for a lot of
and
teams.
he went 2-6, but um, he did it. I mean, he's been in the league for a while. He's somewhat of a journeyman. He's the journeyman, I think, right now. I can't think of anyone that's been traded or been on as many different teams as he has. But yeah, I really do hope that the Rangers put him in at some point, give him that shot.
I'll
I'm
tell you,
excited to
it's
see what
it's
he
gonna be
does.
so satisfying. I can say that for a guy to basically just be tossed around in eco and just from team to team, from minor leagues to eco, just for so long, for a few months now, and he just keeps going, just keeps showing up. I think he's very admirable. I think he's a very good dude, and I really, really, really wish him the best because he definitely deserves it by now.
Yeah, yeah. So let's
Final game though. Currently, I'm leading. So I
by
lead for
two or
good.
three.
Yeah, I lead for good, so I'm winning for good. But let's look at this last game: Milwaukee versus San Diego. How's it going?
So I think organic. And speaking of former
Yeah,
Diamondbacks, organic just hit a 3-run homer. Brought Hitchens and Jackman home. Uh yeah, I mean and it's not even Dan starting this one, and they've been able to keep the hits to one so far. And after 2 innings, but it's Ron Swanson on this one. Um, they don't even have Dan in the bullpen. He's an eco, so the Brewers have a lot of faith in Swanson, and I don't think that faith is misplaced. He, from what I remember, he did pretty decent his first start, so it's going pretty well for them. I think we both have Oh no, I have Milwaukee. You have San Diego here. Um,
I wouldn't write off
so
San
yeah,
Diego yet, just simply because it's very dangerous to have one pitcher on your roster that's very unproven like Swanson. If he starts giving up runs,
yeah,
he
and I
might
think
just keep giving up runs.
if that does end up happening in their bullpen right now, they have I want to say Logan Anderson, which
Oh,
he
that's
was an Astro
true.
before. I
Shit,
don't
yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I don't exactly know what his pitching ability is or what he's been able to do so far, but that's what they have. Those are their options. So
That's
it's
true. They do
really
have
it's a
some
lot of
depth.
faith in Swanson for sure.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that they had a third pitcher, so that kind of makes it a little better for them. They have somebody to sort of throw in there if things get a little dicey. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a lot to show for the Padres offense. We have Dickerson getting a hit. We have Von Hammersmith getting a walk, but other than that, it's been a very great day for Swanson. And meanwhile, Padres starting pitching just kind of continues to dwell in the bottom of the league. I mean,
Yeah, it's rough.
Tensicums has over 6 ERA now.
Yeah.
He gives up more runs than innings pitched, which is always a problem. Or
It might be
runs.
higher. It might be
Um.
higher now that he just gave. I don't know if that's updated, so he
Oh,
might
you're
have
right.
just
I
given
don't
up those
update
three
it,
runs.
so it is actually because he's shown as 5.81.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow.
Gump.
Yeah, good up. Zum. The ump.
Oh well, that explains it. Zum's the best ump.
He's
I don't bother to do that.
um yeah, it's rough for the Padres pitching. I would kind of put them maybe not like in the same league as them, but I would put them in the same like sort of semi category as the Dodgers. where their offense can score. They have they have some names in there: Dickerson, uh, Forehead Jones, that can hit the ball pretty well. But just they're pitching. They're pitching. Can't keep them in the game.
It's just, I think that's just a common thread when it comes to that division. I mean, the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks, the Padres, the Rockies, all really bad pitching. And the Giants are the only ones who sort of are the beacon of hope. And his name's Peters. But even if Medvedev had a pretty mediocre game, I think it's just pitching that's been keeping that division up because or being the decisive factor in that division. Because
and it's not like they're not trying.
I know, yeah, of course. I mean, number one overall pick, Garrett Evans. The guy is a great dude, and
exactly. Number one overall pick. Diamondbacks traded for Stifle. Dodgers just signed a new free agent pitcher. I don't know what the Padres are doing, but yeah, they're trying. They're trying to build up their pitching. But
Preller, call it at the end of the show and tell us what the Padres are doing. If he's listening, probably not. That's our games though. That's the games for session 9 right now. So it seems like I have a slim lead. I think it's 3-2. Something to that.
But a lot of those games, like we said, are 2, 3 runs, 1 run.
They're young too.
Yeah, they're young, super young. So
they're super nubile.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, the All-Star game. We got our All-Star game rosters announced. If you got them up.
Yeah. We actually haven't talked about this either, like personally,
Yeah.
Well, I guess we did a little bit, but
who do you think is the most exciting person on these rosters, and who do you think is the least deserving on these rosters?
Exciting or deserving? Like for the first one, because I have my pick for deserving, and that's Dakota Montana Carolina from the Houston Astros in the first base in the AL. I don't think he had much competition. Valentino Roland from the Tigers is very good, but there was just no shot if you looked at the stats, and if you just looked at their impact on the game. I think DCM really had that in the bag. Least deserving, it's rough. Maybe I wouldn't say least deserving because I'm actually a little bit excited that Garen Smudge made it over Andropov and Gare Doctor and George Ewell, but I don't know. It's a little bit
disappointed in that.
You're disappointed in that happening?
If you look at Smudge had very good first season. He had a very good start to a season, but if you look at stats, it's just no contest. The Giants, the Giants catcher. We'll get more into this, but the Giants catcher has been on base almost 2 times as much as Smudge, and just all of his stats clearly say he's better, and it's just more of a popularity dispute there. I feel it's a very bad popularity move, and even Gary Doctor, who's popular, is way better than Smudge when you look at numbers.
Well, that's an interesting thing, though. Is like you said, they have better stats than him, and popularity. You start thinking about how much that plays a role, how much of a role that plays in the All-Star voting. But Andropov and Gare and Ewell really did campaign. They were out there, and people like them. Everyone knows Andropov, the commie. He squats and drinks vodka, and everyone knows Gare. Gare's super popular. George Ewell's, I don't know, British, but everyone knows them. Like they're these personalities. And Smudge, Smudge is super well liked. But he's just, he's not as talkative as some of these guys. He wasn't out there campaigning for himself. I guess he changed his name, but he wasn't. It's not like he was posting, posters or anything like that constantly. He didn't have this little feud going like all the other 3 NL catchers did. So I don't know, it's super interesting that like you said, the stats don't warrant it, but also I don't think it really warrants it in the popularity argument.
Well,
not that he's not popular, but it's just like it's shocking. It really is shocking.
Well, then in that case, then it's more of team nepotism then. Like teams that will vote entirely for their own guys over over guys who might be more deserving, and maybe there was a big rush of votes for Smudge in that regard, or maybe I don't know, maybe they just saw his name and they thought he was better. But I don't know. I think just Peacock. I love that guy. He's really he gets into the character. He gets into the game. I wrote I wrote a home run call for him a few sessions back, and he really liked it, and he was really playing along well with it, and just that he has the stats to back it up. He has the personality to back it up. Garen's an awesome dude. I'm not gonna disparage him. I don't know. I think that even when you say popularity, that's even you said that Peacock has a lot of popularity, so it just makes me scratch my head more. Why? Why isn't
It's
he on
very
the
confusing.
roster?
I agree with you. It's confusing. I will say, from talks that the Diamondbacks supposedly voted very early on, or a good amount of them voted very early on, and that's also confusing because if you look at the second All Star Game update, Andropov was actually leading with Garrett Doctor in second, and Pops gave me the percentages at around this time, and it was I don't know, it was really close for the top three, and I always thought the third one was Ewell, but apparently it was Smudge.
It's very
And
fishy. I feel something happened from then and now. Some
I
sort of I guess a lot of D-backs got very active in voting. I mean, there are a lot of D-backs on at the same time a few days ago, so maybe that was the time where things changed.
Yeah, I don't exactly know. Also, Pops did say that some of his charts got a little bit messed up. So maybe the information that he gave in the All-Star Game update wasn't super accurate. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. It's definitely a little bit confusing. Snubs, big snubs there with Andropov and Gare.
We'll get. I mean, I guess we already talked about Peacock now. We kind of had a spot for him, but maybe we can go into him.
Oh,
We can go
okay.
into
No,
this
we
in
can
more detail.
because you have an intro and whatever, right?
Yeah, I
So
got some
let's save that. Let's save that a little bit. Let's just we can talk about it in a very general sense. What
Zachary
else?
Benz.
Yeah, Zachary Benz, our boy, man. The Z
Z
named Zachary
himself.
Benz.
Yeah, man. I didn't know if the Expos could pull off getting somebody in that roster, but they really pulled through, and I like Benz a lot. I really like his numbers, hitting 400 cleanly, slugging 600, 3 RBIs. I mean, he's a solid player. I think he is an all-star caliber stat line, and I don't see any problem with this. I really like him, even apart from the memes.
Did you have a player that you think was very deserving of it, or was very um deserved to, I guess, win their spot?
For second base,
No, in general. I mean, which player do you think definitely deserved to make it? And it was warranted that they were voted in.
oh, you mean that's in it?
Yeah, that's in it. Sorry.
I think all of these guys are. I mean, they're all pretty all-star caliber. I really am glad that Durat got in because Tigers I feel are very overlooked, and Durat's one of the best players in the league. I think, especially early on. I know Jonesy was very high on him when he was umping him very early in the season. It's
Yeah.
just he's a good player. He deserves to be in despite the Tigers sort of under the radar season going on right now. I'm glad that people saw him for what he was and voted him in. I'm surprised that Johnny Hopkins isn't starting in third though. I'm glad Sven got in because I'm just glad that these guys who were less Discord active still found their way onto the
Yes.
roster.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
Donnie Hopkins is a Discord giant, and he's a game giant in general, and he got beaten by Sven Jorgensen, who's I guess Toronto made sure to vote for him.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. He's I did not know who Sven Jorgensen was before I looked at the ballot, and I had to actually ask some Blue Jays. So yeah, you're right, and that's admirable for sure. That these guys who don't really get on Discord, Zachary Benz, who else? Billy, does Billy Cutgrass get on Discord a lot? I don't think so.
Rarely. He has one though, but he doesn't go on much.
Even the people that didn't make it but are still I don't know. There's some runoff voting and some second place people like Barney Summers and stuff. They got votes. Dakota Montana Carolina isn't even in the main Discord, and he had a huge lead over Valentino Roland. So yeah, you're definitely right about it.
There's a lot of podcasts, sort of. I feel like people like these podcasts because they give sort of an idea of who's really good, and I think a lot of these names were sort of propelled via podcasts and via MLR media, and so I think a lot of that has to do with it. But how
Yeah.
about second base? No, there was for the AL. There was like a big thing about second base. It
Yeah.
was Juan Diego versus Nicky Falk, and do you agree with this result?
I Yeah, I think JD is deserving of it. We had like some people, uh, you know, Kyle Corbett saying, hey, if anyone voted for JD, can you defend yourself? Can you like say, explain why you voted for him? Because I don't think, he was looking at the stats and it just kind of, um, it was close, but yeah, JD doesn't have some of the stats that some of the other people did, like Rob Atkins, and I don't know that Nikki Falk was um, as up there in stats, but she is very good. Uh,
I thought
there
they
was
were very
another one.
comparable. I thought she and De Los Rosas were very, very
Yeah,
comparable.
it's close. Well, that's the thing is like it's close for all of them. Like it's they all have their own argument, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna look at the ballot. Oh wait, no, top pop's closed. Yeah. What is it? Third base?
Second
Oh,
base.
second base. Yeah, yeah. So it was okay. Sorry, it was JD and Graham Grams. Graham Grams actually ended up
Oh,
getting
it's
second in
true.
that one. Yeah.
That's true.
And that was the argument at the time is why did Grams not get as many votes? And it wasn't. It wasn't close. 53 JD and Grams got 35 votes. Rob Atkins got 29, Nicky Falk 27, and then from there, it's a lot lower. Um, Kid Notcher, we talk about him a good amount on this podcast. But he had some pretty good stats, but he only got 5 votes, which was a little bit confusing to me. Maybe I wasn't reading it correctly, or maybe he just has a good like average or something. But I remember him having like one stat that kind of popped out. But yeah, out of those, JD, Graham Grams, Rob Atkins, Nicky Falk, do you think this should have been a lot closer than it was, or
I I I would hold that Graham Grams is one of, if not the best hitter in the MLR, just by like experience and just consistency. He was one of the best hitters. He was the second choice for AL MVP last year, and then he just came here and he just kept doing it. I think. I mean, last year shouldn't really weigh on the All Star game, but that just shows how much I feel Grams is a good hitter. Um, Other than that, I don't have any problem with one, especially it's a Tampa Bay All Star game. There are four Devil Rays, or four, maybe three. Yeah, well, there are a couple of Devil Rays in here, but it's technically their All Star game. It's their sort of it's their home field, so I give them that. I don't mind De Los Rosas. He's a good hitter. He's one of the best hitters on that team. He's just an exemplary second baseman. I just thought there was like a little bit more of I guess an argument for both Falk and De Los Rosas. I thought that was like a thing, but I guess not. I was
yeah,
naive.
yeah, I think that was I think what you were saying from what you were saying, they do have similar stats, more so than like I don't know Grams and JD. But that's how the vote ended up coming out is JD with 53 and then Grams right behind him, or not right behind him, but Grams at 35, and then a little bit lower Nicky Falk and Rob Atkins, which I don't know. I don't think Rob Atkins gets talked about at all. Which is maybe why he didn't get as many votes as he did. But Graham Grams is he's a very well known player, so
Yeah,
that threw some people for a loop for sure.
Milo has the popularity, but Graham says more skill. I'd say.
Well, this season has been rough for Milo for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's go to pitching. What do you think about those third pitcher sort of ties? And I could actually break the tie for the National League. But first, how about you, I guess, talk a little bit about the pitching? Are there any surprises here?
For the top two in each league, no, I don't think so. And it's interesting how in the NL, Danger Zone and Darth Vader, both 13 votes. It's very indicative of what people think of the pitching, of those two. They're neck and neck. I agree with it. By the way, how did the voting work for this? Was it everyone got 2 votes or what? Because
I
I
don't
think if
fucking know. I forget.
okay, yeah, okay. It looks like I think I added it up and it was like 44 votes or something. We have like 22 jams, I think. So I think that makes sense. But yeah, it's not surprising. Dan Darth 1 and 2. I think going into it, Poe was the third. And I don't know. Pops made it a thing like he made it a point that the reason that some people weren't voting for certain pitchers was because they didn't have enough innings pitched to be like significant stats or whatever. And he made the point that Jameson Poe also doesn't have that many innings pitched.
For sure, Poe would knock it in, but I mean,
Yeah, and it's
wasn't
tied.
close.
But and not that Poe's not a good pitcher, but it is a little surprising to me because in my head, and maybe it's just me because I do like the Giants and I really like Peters. Peters is a good pitcher, and Peters. If you told me Peters was a number 3 pitcher in the NL, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't know how it'll end up, but I
can tell you. Do you think Peters is gonna get it?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I would like to announce formally on the podcast that the third pitcher for the National League, after sort of a discussion or a vote between the 3 general managers. Well, Steelflex, I understand him not really joining the conversation because he has some bias. He or it's one of his players, isn't there? But
yeah.
I voted and Gino voted, so it was a majority thing, and we both voted for Andrew Peters to be the third pitcher. It was mainly due to the fact that Logan, among other things, Logan Ninefingers is also on the roster as a Cardinal, while there are no San Francisco starters, so we decided that a big thing was to get some representation up here, and we didn't really think that Poe had enough innings to really be an exception to that. So just as an announcement, Andrew Peters is going to be a starter in the All-Star game.
Wow. Okay, that's exciting. Yeah,
I hope I could have announced that. I don't know, but Tim could yell at
me. It makes sense. I mean, I'm sure since you were the one making, you were part of making that decision. You looked at the stats and it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Peters, is a good pitcher and he's a very important part of his team. I get it.
I was told that I could announce that Willie Dustis is going to be a backup for the All-Star game because he'll be the Phillies guy, but I already announced that.
Oh, you guys voted?
Yeah, my team voted, and we voted on Dustis, who actually, before that vote, I didn't realize he's like the leader in batter war on our team. He has really good stats, especially with that 2 home run game. So look out for Mr. Willie Dustis. He's rising the ranks.
Good name too.
He's that name's on that
Yeah, that sheet. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he always likes the Twitter, the tweets from the main fake Phillies account. So I always like that. He's always the first person to like those.
Nice. Yeah, we got to get more Twitter activity. Maybe it's just me. I kind of fizzled out on using it.
I still use it.
It's interesting. I think it's fun. It's good fun.
I don't use the reporters as much, but I still use.
What?
Shut the fuck up.
You're
I still use fake Phillies pretty much for everything, especially since I kind of like my goal in life is to have the real Phillies Twitter reply to me someday as the fake Phillies and go like, "What the fuck are you?" and be like, "Glad you asked." Give us some recognition, but so I always try to keep it as active and sort of pristine and professional as possible. I deleted that tweet where I like joined something and I said something about school shooters.
Oh my god!
What? It wasn't as serious as it sounds. It didn't make me look bad, but I still mentioned school shooter, so I was like, I should not mention that on my fake Phillies. my professional looking.
It's fun. It's fun because, I think it's funner that way. To keep it kind of like a real, fake baseball team or whatever.
I like that too, but a lot of people are really silly, which I don't care. Like,
yeah, no, I think either way is fine. But when I was doing the Brewers one, we lost a close game, and I put like shit or something. Like I put fuck in all caps, and I sent that out as a tweet on that account. And then I like said another one that was like, "Oh, we apologize. The intern responsible for that tweet has been like fired." So I don't know. It's fun. I like it. I like keeping it like that too.
Yeah, it's the same thing with it's the same sort of thing as naming your character like a cool, realistic name versus naming your character a dick one.
Dickhole buttfuck or something.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I prefer the first one personally.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But do you have anything else on the roster before we end this?
Well, AL, we didn't talk about the AL pitching.
I mean, Timber definitely, Chipper Dipper definitely. South Shark or Ryan Gasting, I do not know who's gonna get that one. Who do you think?
I like South Shark for his body of work. You know, his career, his what he's done for the for the Athletics. Gasting, I think, has a popularity edge. Maybe he's got the meme potential. So I don't know. I was kind of interested to see that it was a lot closer than Chipper Dipper 8 votes, South Shark 7, Gasting 7. It could have gone. It really could have gone like any which way. What do you think about that? Those that 3 close.
Well, I'd like to say that I'm really glad that South Shark sort of. I know he struggled in the beginning of the season, but I'm glad he's getting into that Cy Young form once again, and really showing himself to be one of the best in the league. Timber is the best in the league so far, though. It's pretty easy to say. I need to make him a fake baseball reference page. That's one of the guys I forgot.
That'll be interesting. His stats are like monstrous. I think.
I really want to see them both seasons put together. But yeah, Timber is what I would say is the best pitcher in the league. If not him, Darth Vader. Darth Vader's amazing too. But Timber, he got some Cy Young votes last year, and then he comes in here and he's doing even better. And Chipper Dipper just really a shot in the arm for the Orioles. I mean, if it wasn't for him, they'd be a lot worse than they are now. And the Orioles are in an upswing with him and with the new people are being built around him on the Orioles staff or in the Orioles team. Like the entire Orioles team is being built around him. He's just such a good pitcher. He's just such a winner, and he's a good dude. But yeah, as far as pitcher number 3, Sal Shark, Ryan Gasting, I think Sal is gonna beat it out personally.
Yeah, me too.
I think the Oakland GM being the manager, he's gonna definitely vote for his guy, and I think the seniority and just the tried and true, just sort of, just so many innings pitched. He's such a hard worker. He just goes out there, he gets it done every single time, and just keeps improving. I don't think. I love Gasting. I don't think he can beat Sal.
Is Gasting a season 1 guy?
No, he's a season 1 guy in the same way as you are a season 1 guy. So you signed session 7, but didn't start in season 1.
Oh, he's me.
Yeah. I mean, you got a few guys like that. Ryan Gasting also had a really bad start his last game. I mean, they won, but it was 12-6 one, so he didn't exactly.
Yeah, that was a.
So I don't see Gasting. If you put him up to scrutiny against South Shark, I think South Shark wins hands down.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, so that's the current All-Star roster. But we're gonna get more into snubs and mainly just some guys like Barney Summers right here, who's I assume is a great defensive catcher. We got Peacock Vanderpop, he hits the home runs. He has a few of them, and he just gets on base all the time. Got Emerbach, who was in a very close race with. I voted for Emerbach. He was in a very close race for that first base spot. He just missed it. And Owen Urich, a homer. I'm definitely a homer here, but I think he is a very fantastic pitcher. So yeah, these are mainly the 4 main snubs that we were discussing before before this podcast came underway. So Andrew Pop we talked a lot about, but I mean, if you have anything else to say about him, what do you think about Andrew Pop? Do you think he got really snubbed here?
Yeah, I think Andropov, if everyone voted, or if a couple more people voted a little more reasonably, Andropov would have made it. Andropov should have made it. And I think I don't know if the Diamondbacks got another representative. I don't think they did. No, I don't think so. So Smudge might have made it anyway, even if Andrew Pop did. But yeah, for me, that's a big snub. Summers, man, Barney Summers.
It's a shame. I love that guy.
It really is a damn shame.
He's the most humble dude.
He's a humble dude. I heard about him first from you. You were doing I think you were doing DPA. You were doing DPA, and you posted in the Discord, and you were like, "Who is this guy? Like, this guy is killing it. This guy's a monster."
He responds to me, and he's like, "Oh, thank you for your kind words. I'm just trying." Like, he's just so modest. He's just so chill. I love that guy. And Carp's fine, but I think that Summers is better than him, hands down. We had this make a case, and Summers. I mean, Summers got the support in that make a case argument. I mean, I won that according to the poll, so surprising to see him come up short. It might just be Tampa really getting in there and voting, while Texas not so much.
Yeah. Specifically for Summers, and I was not to sway any votes or anything, right? But there's still some runoff voting going on. I think it's Grams and someone else. It's like basically the situation is this: if Grams gets voted in the runoff voting, then Summers can still make it as the Texas Rangers representative.
Oh.
So, because like the Phillies did, they voted for their So
definitely gonna go in. I think there's no doubt about it.
Well, I don't know.
Trundle maybe because he does have the votes behind him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's either going to be Grams or Trundle, and I think people. There's a lot of people that feel a certain way about JD making it, for whatever reason. People talking about Graham's stats. So I think Graham's probably has the argument there. And then, not that I like any player more than any other, but it would be great to see Barney Summers make it in as a. And I think they would vote. I think they would vote for him for sure.
Emer Bach, what do you think about him? Do you think he should be in there?
Yeah, it's a shame. I think it's a shame that Okay, I have two sides of it. Pops made a very good argument to me. He laid out the stats to me, and he made me feel like Bach really did deserve to make it in over Forehead Jones. Forehead Jones has a bunch of homers, but I think that's really it. He has a bunch of homers, and obviously because of that, his slugging is better. But I mean, I think that was really it. Bach has the on-base percentage, has the batting average, has more RBIs, which you can argue if that matters or not. So yeah, it's a shame to me that Bach didn't make it. But Forehead Jones.
And Bach has the power too, because I know I voted for him after he ended up hitting that 3-run home run in session 8, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, like there's just less. The gap is smaller between the two, where it's just like you could go either way, and I think Bach kind of edges him out when it comes to a lot of stats. But sorry.
And you know what the interesting thing is about that is, yeah, you definitely feel that with both of them, that it could go either way. The stats, whatever, it's close. That was the biggest discrepancy in voting from first and second place.
It's just because Forehead got hyped to.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just got so hyped, and I just don't think like he was brought up as like the unanimous guy right before voting, and I just think people heard that and they were like, well, why would I vote for anybody else? I mean, I guess maybe they just like overlooked stats there, and they were just like, well, this is one that like is sure to go Forehead because everyone's going Forehead.
Yeah.
I think Bach's better, to be honest, just slightly better, and I think that's just enough to get him in. But I mean, who knows? Maybe next year. Maybe we'll get the MVP.
Maybe next season,
because he's on more of an upswing than Forehead is. I'll say.
Yeah. I think Forehead's is a power hitter, and Bach's not. I think.
I can look at that real quick. Neutral for Bach, and power for Forehead. Both left-handed.
And I think if you're not hitting homers as a power hitter, like these what's it called? I don't know. The probabilities just aren't in your favor, in terms of getting on base, in terms of batting average. When you look at these guys who have the crazy batting, like these Barney Summers and Peacock Andropovs, they're not power hitters, They're guys who get on base with good ranges. They're contact hitters or neutral hitters. They get good matchups. So I think it's definitely going to be easier for Bach to keep that productivity up, that on base percentage, the batting average, whatever.
Do you think
Urich?
Owen
Oh,
Urich deserves to have a shot at that?
I think he deserved more votes for sure. 100% more votes. I think all your pitchers deserve more. Deserve more votes than they got, and maybe it's just because the GMs voted on that, and because I don't know. Pitching is a very glamorous position, and the good pitchers get talked about a lot. So yeah, definitely. Urge deserved more votes. It should have been closer, I think.
A lot of my pitchers, you get the sense that like especially during that time where we didn't score any runs and we were going on a very bad skid. Just more recently, they've really picked it up. Yu's been doing incredible his last few games, but I just think it might be a little too late for a lot of these guys, for a lot of these voters. But I mean, pitching is just in the NL is unfair, and I love Urich. I see why he didn't make it. I would have liked to see him there. I feel like I would have made the case for him if the guys who were managing the All-Star game got the say for the pitchers. I would have tried to make a case for him as a starter, as that number 3. But I'm not gonna say that he deserves it more than Peters. They're both very good pitchers. I would have definitely tried to get him in there, but I mean, Urich has a lot of troubles when it comes to other stats. He does not strike out a lot of guys. He put 9 Ks there, but it's also 17.33 innings pitched.
Yeah.
I think he does need more work. I see why he wasn't put in the All-Star game. But I could easily see him be put there at the same time.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Specifically for Urich. How many innings pitched did the people that did make it have? A bunch, right? Like close.
Probably around 30 for each. They're all guys
Yeah.
who were on basically one pitcher teams for the longest time.
Well, I don't know. I think didn't Darth has switched out a good bit, but
For a long time, Crumblepuff, like I'm pretty sure Crumblepuff had some activity issues or like some pitching issues that had Darth starting most sessions, but now it's not as much, especially with Dick Shot coming in and kind of muddy that. But I mean, you could say that about the other pitchers too, with Guerzone being sort of outcast or not outcast, but like having help from Swanson and now Anderson and Matt Havepetti with the Giants.
Peters, yeah.
It's but they all started the season as the main pitchers, and maybe that helps pitchers. I don't know.
That's true. I see what you mean. I have an audience question about this.
Are they going to be able to call in?
No. They just sent it to me.
They should call in. We need call-ins. We lost the call-in, so if you want to call in and
let us know if you want to call.
let us know. DM me or something.
But the text question is: which All-Star Game snub from each league would you build a team around? And for me, it's not really a hard question. I think in the AL, Summers. I'm a big fan of Summers. I'm a big fan of his body of work.
For Summers.
What's that?
I would give my left testicle for Summers.
Yeah, I mean, he has the stats. He's a humble, hardworking. He's a leader. So yeah, I that's who I would pick. I would pick Summers. In the AL, in the NL, I guess probably one of the catchers as well. I think if I were building a team, I'd probably Garrett would be a good pick for sure. I think in that case, I'd probably pick Garrett over Andropov, even though Andropov has better stats. But yeah, that's me.
I'm gonna pick some different things to sort of diversify. Even though I just said that I love Summers.
Yeah, the catch. It's easy with the catchers because yeah.
Another guy that I love, who I think, I mean, he's not better than Durgish, but he's very good, and that's Lane Drew. He got a home run recently in that trouncing of the Twins. He's hitting 364, 440 on base percentage. I mean, he's shown himself to be a versatile player, just session after session. He's a good guy. He's always active, one of the most active guys in the Discord. I think if you had to build anybody around, like a team around anybody, it'd definitely be Lane. Come home to Philly, please, buddy. National League. I would say Bach. I think I just love the upswing he's going on right now. He just keeps getting better and better. I like Peekov too, but I would go with Bach. I think he's one of the better, most underrated pitcher or hitters in the league. And it just shows with how he hits homers. He's hitting more. He's hitting better. A lot of RBIs, 9 RBIs. That has to be in the lead somewhere, right? Let me look.
It's got to be up there.
RBIs. No, he's not actually. Lance. Ooh, Lance. Ooh, that's
Lance
another one.
Lumix. Oh, he didn't end up making it, did he?
Nope.
Oh no, he did. He did.
He did?
Yeah, he's the shortstop for the national, which is warranted. Yeah,
13 RBIs. But yeah, Emer. If not Lance, then definitely Emer. 100%. Kagi is good too, and Dustis, but Dustis isn't. Kagi isn't. That was the vote. It was basically we had a tie between Takagi and Dustis, and we had a runoff election between the two, or runoff.
Did Hudson Quinn get any votes?
Yes, from Hudson Quinn. He voted for himself.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you have to expect that. That's a pie thing. Okay, so anything else about snubs? Any more?
No, I think we covered a lot of the questions and a lot of the controversy that people had.
All right.
Oh, real quick, the outfield. Isn't it a little weird? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just it's a little weird how like they just lump all the positions together. That's weird to me.
That happens in real All-Star.
Yeah, I know, but it's weird to me in fake baseball. I don't know why. Isn't that like I feel like that kind of I don't know, cultivates the bigger possibility of a snub, I guess, if you have like really good center fielders in the league and then like a left fielder who's the best left fielder but not, I don't know.
Well,
just a comment.
You can look at it the opposite way and think that like if you have the second best left fielder in the league, I mean him versus the center fielder is a lot less of a disparity than the first baseman versus the third baseman.
Yeah, so that's true.
I mean, if you have that second best left fielder getting snubbed, that kind of suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of pie, we're gonna go into make case, and this is something that kind of has been talked about recently. Kind of because I was yelling at Pie the entire time. What should the award be named? The Cy Hat Award or the Pie Young Award? You want to take this one, Kev?
Yeah. So, first of all, if we're doing it in terms of, we're naming it something similar to real baseball, obviously, the Cy Young Award. It rhymes. Pie Young, Cy Young. That's my first, argument for it. It sounds nice. It goes along with what real baseball, the sound of the award in real baseball. I think if you compare the two, Pie has more of a storied, career, in terms of like, in terms of like the team impact that he's made on the league. It's not close, like I think Pie definitely takes that category. I mean, he's in the OOTC. He's the I guess he's the players representative, whatever that means. Player relations. Sorry. Everyone knows who he is. He's well known. He's a pitcher. I don't know. I just think in terms of honoring someone, why not honor someone who has made an impact on the league and that everyone knows, and that is just he's up there. He's up there in terms of popularity, in terms of impact on the league. He's not the best, but was Cy Young the best pitcher ever? I don't know.
You mean?
No, Cy Young, like in real baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
he was. 161. Okay. So,
you got that point.
So first off, I'd like to note the name Pie Young. If we're looking at this game, if we can look at this game as like us being puppeteers and our players being the puppets, okay? And the world of the game itself being sort of the stage in which we prance around our puppets. As you can see from the names, Pioneer versus Hudson Quinn. Hudson Quinn is the player, and Pioneer is the guy playing the player. Okay, the kind of characters. So if we look at if we look at this, an award is awarded to in the realm, in the stage of the players. So the award is given to the players. Why would it be called Pi Young? Why would it be named after the puppeteer? But it's given to the players. It's outside of the realm of the players to name it after the username of the guy playing Hudson Quinn. Number one, Psyhad is the player name of the guy. Psyhad was a player. Pi is not a player. Hudson Quinn is a player. So number one, we get this weird sort of like outside the world, inside the world sort of weird shit going on. That is like the Hudson Quinn word does not have the pun anymore. So that's my first thing. Number two, Psyhad won the first ever paper cup. He was the pitcher who got the last out in the first ever paper cup. That is pioneering this league. That is one of the most historical moments in this league, and it will be for the rest of all time. He was the guy who won it all. He was the guy who threw his hands up after the last out, hugged the catcher, and just got dogpiled. This guy is history. He will be in the history books of the league forever. Okay? And number three, I didn't really mention this, but Psyhad didn't die immediately when he got attacked by the bears saving orphans. I saw him in the hospital. I went next to him, and he looked up at me with his strong, talented eyes, and he said to me, "I've got a lot of time left, Skip." And I said, "You know what, Sai? I'm gonna honor you. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna go to that office, and I'm gonna tell them that they need to change this award's name. They need to personalize this award to one of the strongest, one of the most historied guys in this league, and one of my best friends, Sai, had, and we're gonna name it the Sai Had Award. I promise you." And when he died that day, I made the promise. I made the promise that I would go over there and make that award his. And I haven't fulfilled that promise yet, Kevin. I have not fulfilled that promise yet. And I swear I need to fulfill that promise. And so that is my mission. I love Pi, but Pi is not the name of the pitcher. Pi is not in the realm of the pitchers. And thus naming it after Pi is just confusing. It's too out of character. And also, I don't know what I was going for here, but in my notes I wrote Pi is a little bitch boy. So that too.
Well, that's your strongest argument.
So overall, Psyhad, he is the actual player. He has one of the most historied moments in this young league, and he's just and I made a promise that, and I would love to keep it. And I know before Pi raised up the bitch fit, it was like, oh yeah, sure, let's name it Psyhad, and he was like, no, it needs to be named after me. So I which makes him the bitch boy, which is my last argument. So Psyhad Award all the way. It is unfair that he's unable to avenge himself and to argue for himself because he's dead, and it's despicable for this Hudson Quinn fellow to just trounce over his body, to spit in his face, and to spit on his coffin, and just be like, no, he does not deserve it. Me, as a mediocre reliever, I deserve that award. No. That's all I have to say on this matter. Thank you very much. I expected to be named Psyhad Award after the All-Star break.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, if okay, you got me. If there is some sort of vote or something, I guess Psyhad Award. You really did get me with that.
Was Psyhad even good? Do not even look at me with those despicable. You don't even deserve to bask in the. You don't even deserve to be saying the name of Cyrus McGillick. None. That was not him. Cyrus, JD. What's a really old timey middle name? Lorenzo had.
JD. Someone died, buddy.
Dude,
He's dead.
leave the room. Leave the
Doesn't
league.
matter if he's good. He's
Delete your
dead.
Reddit account.
I think that's how it works, right? If you're dead,
You get
doesn't
honored.
yeah, like if you're dead, it doesn't matter if you're good. I
I will
think.
retire Cy. I'm telling you right now, this is the breaking Phillies news. Cy Had's number is now retired. That's so important.
Oh my gosh,
Cy
that's
Had's
big
number
news.
is retired, but he needs
Jay,
more of recognition.
Jay, what was his number?
51.
Oh, you knew it?
Yeah, damn
Okay,
straight I knew.
well that makes sense.
I know.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm on board. Had. He's dead. Let's give it to him. Pie is alive and mediocre.
Pie's pitching career is gonna be dead in a few seasons. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh man. But Had lives on through the award name. That's fair. I'll take that
I'm
one.
so fucking starving. Jay and Kev discuss. Jay and Kev discuss something stupidly specific for an unnecessary long amount of time. This is the best thing we got going on in this show right now. I know this is what you guys have been waiting for. But yeah, we're gonna look at the extensive history of Baltimore Oriole Whit Murto, the extensive Discord history of him, and I happen to have a nice little Discord window right here.
Oh really? We can actually look at it on the screen.
Yeah, do you have it up?
Yeah.
Are you ready to discuss this history?
Whit Murto. Wait, how do I just type in his name, right? He should come up.
Press from colon and then his name, Whit Murto. Or you can just do that, it doesn't really matter.
From Whit. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Did I leave? Oh, okay. Alright. It's not working. Here, I'll do it on my phone. Alright. Let's see. So we're gonna just look at what he said. In his very limited amount of messages.
It's 30, but they're golden, let me tell you.
They're
gonna kind of go down the list, and we're gonna start with discussing at AJ Preller, probably a GM, is up in Seattle. What does that mean? Who knows?
I think it's a real life thing. I think Preller lives on the West Coast, so maybe he was talking about. Let's see. Oh, it's up in Seattle. I formally apologize about Murto.
That's interesting. He's formally apologizing. I'm gonna bring this up full zoom.
What are they talking about? I can't tell from the...
I can tell you right now. I am so fascinated in knowing what they're talking about.
What?
Oh wow, this is very recently. I thought Whit Murto was more of a silent boy, but
that was yesterday. Oh my god!
Wow, so AJ Preller is in Seattle right now, and he's formally apologizing.
Right this second. Hold on.
Oh, this is bringing up new...
Be right.
I need to...
Oh, hold on. No. I got it.
You got a new...
AJ said Whit Murto is up in Seattle. AJ said Whit Murto is up in Seattle, and then as a comeback, Whit Murto said AJ Preller is up in Seattle.
This man is so... Oh my god.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
The wittiest man. The wittiest man. The Whit Murto-iest man.
The wit on Whit Murto.
Oh my goodness. God. Alright, what's the next one? He said rip to something. What is
he
saying? Rip? Oh, the Baltimore Orioles sucking.
I would
say wit.
And this was actually a while back. Oh my god. He literally he said something in January, and then he said something yesterday. That's a big jump.
Well, he got pinged, so that might be why.
Yeah.
10 difference home run.
He's a right fielder. Too.
But you can see from his lowercase and his just nonchalance that he doesn't let it get to him. This is why I voted this guy as the leader of this team, because he doesn't let this get to him. He will lowercase rip and he will just continue going.
He'll keep playing. He'll keep playing for months and he'll put his head down, not say a word in the Discord, no complaints, and he'll just keep going. He'll put rip, he'll go along his way, and keep playing fake base.
You know what? Fuck you, Joe Trundle. We're trying to get to Whit Murto, because you cannot get to Whit Murto. Whit Murto gets to you. If you tell him that he's up in Seattle, he will tell you you're up in Seattle.
That was AJ.
I know. I'm
Oh,
just saying.
oh yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
saying this
understand.
is the
I see.
type
I
of
see.
guy we're
So
dealing
he'll
with
come back.
here,
Yeah,
Tevin. This is the type of
exactly.
guy we're dealing
He'll
with
come back.
here.
He'll hit you back twice as hard as you hit him. All right. What's next?
And I'd
This
have a
one's
home
in
run.
late December, so
He says,
yours
then I'd have a home
territory.
run. What did?
2 days after Christmas, and this man says, "Then I'd have a home run."
Because if
No,
only
hold
he
on.
were a
We need
righty.
context. Exactly. If only he were a righty, he'd have a home run. He's true, right, correct. I
This is.
actually
I would like to say this is like this is exemplary of like the sort of grass is always greener on the other side mentality that this game just is flooding this game, and I think
yeah.
so many people want to like are saying lefties are better, but Whit Murtaugh's like no, you don't know my life, and he gives this like really sad emoji here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
zoom
Oh,
in on this emoji real
that
quick.
is
Oh, I
sad.
can't. Oh god,
Jesus.
oh god.
I'm depressed.
Oh god. Oh god. I fucked up. Hold up. Let me let me get out a little bit. He's very still.
Wait.
I zoomed a little too much and it kind of fucked up. But you can just see, like he's like, no, my life isn't perfect.
You know what's interesting
I'm a
is
lefty, but it's not working for me either. Sorry, what's interesting? What's interesting?
that Preller was. I don't know. I think Preller was bullying him a little bit in this game too.
Oh no, Preller, you can
Yeah.
bully me. Preller, you can
Let's
bully
just act like that game didn't happen.
Preller, you can bully an orphan, but you cannot bully Whit Murtaugh.
I wonder if Whit Murtaugh has gotten a home run since.
He has a lot of swings, apparently. That's his last few. And then he says, thanks for the respect, y'all.
Oh, let's see. Swing his hands. Thanks for the respect. Let's see what people were saying about it.
What's the palt? You're right.
What the fuck, AJ? Oh, man. Okay. Here you go. Mr. Whit Murtaugh will have to settle for a triple. I think if you were righty, he would have hit a home run on that one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So. Dude, this is.
Oh, wait. No, that's exactly it, dude. I'm wondering if this is the first time that somebody has been a victim of the contact finesse same hand matchup. And by that, I mean, is this the first time in 10 or less of a pay homer? That's literally it. He would have gotten a homer if he were the other hand. So that's twice. That's twice that our man Whit Murtaugh was screwed over by his handedness.
This is insane.
This is kind of wild.
Hashtag justice for Whit Murtaugh. Get that man a home run.
10% of his Discord activity is
swing.
Yeah.
Get this man a hand change. This guy is trans hand. He's a lefty. He's a lefty batting. No, he's a righty batting in a left-hander's body. Get this man a change. Do we get demonetized? Get this man a change in hand right now. This is gross.
If there were ever gonna be a switch hitter in the MLR, I would vote Whit Murtaugh.
They're still arguing the fucking award name. Shut up, guys.
Okay. What's next? All right. He says we should probably just end the Orioles and Pirates game if it's not going to continue. If it's going to continue at this rate, can the pitchers not submit multiple numbers? Oh, okay. So he's basically calling out Darth Vader here, which is, that's fair. That's admirable. I like a guy who speaks his mind. You go with Murtaugh. Exactly. Yeah, he's not afraid. Darth Vader has some, what the kids call clout. That word before? I learned it a couple days ago.
I know of it.
Yeah, he has some clout.
It sounds like a disease of the fuck.
Yeah, it does. So I understand. I understand what Murtaugh. Let's just end the Orioles game if it's going to continue at this rate. And you know what? I wonder if he was winning that game. Because, if he wasn't and he still wanted to just end it, like that's, he's more worried about pace of play than he is about, what's it called? Than he is about, winning. So the good of the league, whatever.
He's like Spock. Is he the one who
exactly the needs of the league outweigh the needs of Whit Murtaugh. Yep, that was him. I'm on board. What else?
This is 2017.
We're back. Oh, this is October. We're back there.
And Mike is apologizing to me about screwing. Oh, I remember this because I had his video in the beginning of the first podcast, and it got copyright
Oh,
stricken.
what was the video?
He made a really cool video about like um he put his like it was like a David Attenborough thing where it's like a Animal Planet type shit, and it was like a small
Oh, yeah.
rodent. It was a small rodent dodging a bunch of snakes, and it was the Twins versus the Diamondbacks, and he put the Twins logo on top of the rodent and just dodging everything because that was the first to win the Twins ever
Yeah.
got.
Oh, yeah. They were like 0-4 before that or something, right?
Yeah, and they won three in a row. They went 3-4, I think. Okay, but
All
yeah,
right.
Wit. He was talking to Wit, and he was like, "I'm ready for my first at bat." He's waiting on Tiberius. I can't say that name.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
I like his next one. Stone Steel. Learn some etiquette.
Oh, is this when Stone Steel was like being angry?
Let's see what he was saying.
This was before his leave, his rage quit.
I like how his name is Changed Man now. I like that a lot.
He's cool. I've been playing Fortnite with him. Like he's just a chill, awesome dude.
Yeah, I saw.
Uh,
Yeah, he was talking about an unassisted triple play out of nowhere when it's not possible.
it's weird that he's saying to learn some etiquette, but in his profile picture, he's eating with his mouth open. He's just
Do you think that's him?
maybe. I mean,
Possible.
if not, it's just a random dude.
That is a random dude to use. I hope it's him.
Oh, this is in between one of my. Oh yeah, oh yeah, Jonesy was being a fucking pedantic dickhead all about like me misspelling something or whatnot.
Jay being butthurt that he didn't words good.
I was pretty butthurt. I'm so butthurt now. I don't even know what it's about. I'm not gonna scroll up there.
This is a lot of Whit Murdo. Like Whit Murdo was very into this argument.
He was there for the good moments. He's not there all the time. He's there for the moments that count. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's go to his first. Let's look going up from his first ever
Okay.
message. We got 2 pages here. That's not too bad.
Oh, first post. Scandal incoming. Umpires collude with Washington Nationals to hide pitches consistently throughout the game. That's pretty humorous. I like that. That's pretty funny.
This man is.
This man is a gold mine.
He's not on the Discord a lot because he's out there just making comedy shows.
Yeah, I mean, if you told me that he was secretly like, I don't know any comedians, a funny guy, I would believe you. I would definitely believe you. I like this.
He played the game under protest because of this. So maybe he's just being serious. Maybe he's just being.
Oh,
this is not a joke.
This is not a fucking joke. This is for real.
Kevin ARRIANA.
Oh man,
this is not a joke. Yeah, this is Whit Murdo. We've just a lot of rips. He has another rip. No.
That is another rip. Oh no, it's the same one. Okay, so the man Whit Murdo. If you were to sum him up, let's see. He's a funny dude. He's out there. You know, he's definitely out there. He tells you when his swing is in, and he gets it done. You know, he gets it done. When he comes back and makes his next comment, I'm sure it's going to be a good one. I'm no doubt about it. It's going to be a good one.
He is a
He's a character
specimen, and he is what I would say is a leader. No doubt about that. He is. I not doubt anything. I'm trying to talk while doing this.
That's one of my favorite posts of yours. Is the captain's post.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then because I got to do the joke post after it, where
so you used it for your own selfish gains.
Yeah. Yeah. Why the gold fit? Huh? What is that? What server is that?
Gold Coast Goldies.
Oh yeah, classic.
But yeah, that's Whit Murdo. He's I like him. He's a cool dude. Those Orioles are a lucky bunch.
Yeah, they are.
Around from the beginning. He's still there, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get him some recognition. You know, let's get Whit Murdo some recognition out there. I wonder how he's hitting.
We did it for Mr. Z. By the way, if you want to call in, now's the time to do it. We'll be open for a little bit. I know Doc maybe wanted to do it. I don't know.
You know what's interesting is I was gonna say I wonder what Whit Murdo's hitting, but whatever his stats are right now, they'd probably be better if he were
Yeah,
a right-handed hitter. Yeah.
I'm serious. I need that guy. I need that guy to get the Just I know it's like a rule not change yourself, but I think that he's the exception. I think he wants it more than anybody else. I think he needs to become a right-hander, and I think he needs to become what he believes he can be. It's just denying a man his potential.
Yo,
Is it too late to make him an all-star?
we'll see. Real quick. Wait, hold on. Do they have a representative?
Orioles?
Yeah. I don't think they do. It's not too late.
Yeah,
You're
right.
If you're an Orioles player and you're still voting for your All-Star vote, consider Whit Mertel.
Please do. I know he's not the flashiest Oriole, but
yeah.
golly, is he the just most all around.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's a leader.
We got a call in from Doc. He gave me a question, and
is he gonna ask us it?
I don't know. Doc, if you want to come in, just come in and ask us the question, because he gave me a question in text, and I was like, this is the call-in thing. You should give it to us in actual voice.
Let's see if we'll come on. What's his Doc said look up player model, search player model in the Discord, and it's all Preller. And it's true. It's just him saying player model over and over. What is he talking about? Oh, I guess like he made during the draft he made like the show players for some people.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, there we go. And I can move him to... All right, Doc, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going fantastic.
Yeah. My question is, which under 500 team in the second half and which over 500 team will not do very well?
Okay, so you're basically saying who's gonna crash and burn and who is gonna soar after a rough start. Cool. What do you think, Doc? Before we
kick you out.
Yeah. No, we're not. Come on.
For assuming I can't pick the D-backs, I will say will break out. I mean, they've got that concerned with the pitching. It'll get better eventually. I think whoever's pitching this game's doing pretty well, and then they got that free agent, and then their hitting is just full of all-stars.
You said the Brewers?
No, the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. The Dodgers outfield is crazy good, and if the pitching works itself out for sure. I think that would be my second pick. I was gonna say the Phillies. I don't know. Are they under 500 right now?
They are at 500.
Are they at 500?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So then I'm gonna say the Orioles. The Orioles for sure have they're 2-6 right now. That does not reflect how good their pitching is, and their offense has been stagnant. But if they can get that working, and I think they will, they can't go the whole season just being awful hitters. Yeah, Baltimore Orioles for me for the team that's going to do better. What about you, Jay?
For the lowest team, for the low team.
Yeah.
Let me look at the teams. I probably shouldn't thinking of my answer while I was. I've been in this podcast for so long that it doesn't even bother me that I'm such it's not even embarrassing for me. It's just like not give a shit and not do anything until the last minute. Man, there's actually not a lot of teams that are under 500 though.
Yeah, the problem is there's so many at 4-4.
Damn. I like me some Diamondbacks. Not just a flatter, I guessed. I like me some Diamondbacks. I think they've got some offensive prowess that just keeps showing up game after game. If they keep starting Sid Kid, maybe they'll actually win some more games. So start Sid Kid more.
I
I
won't
like
do
that. For the team that, and I think we've been talking about this a lot, me and Jay, but the Expos, I don't know, they don't have that the makeup for me to stay in that that top spot. Uh, it's so funny because Cal Tiberius Jr. was very highly regarded, and then he wasn't, and now I think we're kind of like we took it too far. He's not as bad, or he's not as overrated as we treat him, especially because he really doesn't get talked about anymore. But yeah, aside from that, like their offense isn't as good as some of these other teams that are 5-3, 6-2. So that's my pick, I suppose.
I probably
Yeah.
would say the same thing, but I'll go differently and go Cleveland Indians because they're just such a question mark. The team always changes. They've had like some of the worst stats and just like they have such a small sample size now because they've just so many changes to that roster, so many new people, so many switches. Yeah, I'd go with Cleveland. I don't think they're gonna keep 5-3. I think I didn't even know they were 5-3 until right now.
What about you, Doc?
Yeah.
I was also gonna go with the Expos, and then my second answer was the Indians. But
Oh man.
I'll try to go with another team. Guess I'll say I'm not really too high on the Red Sox. I know they're pretty much on the hottest team right now.
Yeah.
As of now, Bruce did a lot to turn the team around, and then he kind of just stopped when he had, especially in terms of. I mean, they're hot right now, but it can turn around pretty quickly, as we saw with the Expos, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. Especially if you look at some of the like outer guys on the Red Sox roster. I'm umping an eco game right now for them, and they had 2 people auto K. And that's not, apparently it's not out of the ordinary for them. So yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. I still like them because they're red hot and their starting lineup's pretty good. And Peppers has done a lot for that team, but yeah, I see what you
I think you're just salty slash fake former D-backs. Like it, subscribe. I don't even know if it's. I don't know if somebody just made it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna make that.
Yeah, perfect. Let's do it. But yeah, thanks for joining.
Not a single former D-back has gotten out yet this game.
Right.
Good.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Doc.
Thanks,
Doc. That was a really good question.
Thank you.
All right, let me kick you. How do I? Okay, hold on, never mind. There he goes.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, so I don't think we have anybody else who are gonna call in. I tried to threaten Kyle Corbett into coming in, but he's busy. I'm really hungry right now, so I guess we'll just.
Yeah, you want to do closing thoughts?
Let's go to closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. I don't know. I think I'm excited for the All-Star game. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go. With in terms of how fast it's gonna be. I would hope it's pretty fast, pretty quick, because it's people that are All-Stars, people that are known for auto king. So I hope it doesn't take as long as a normal session. I don't know if that's just wishful thinking. Or I don't know if you know any plans about that, Jay, but that's, something I'm thinking about. But yeah, I'm excited for the All-Star game, for the exhibition game with the Minnesota and with the Phillies, for the GM game, for the USA versus International game, for the Home Run Derby. I think we're going to do some sort of live something, right? MLR Tonight something?
That'd
or
be cool.
we were planning on it?
I want to so badly.
Yeah, we'll talk to some people. We'll see if we can get some people on because I think that sounds exciting to like have a good night or a couple nights or something with that. That'd be fun. So we'll see.
Yeah, we also kind of speaking of auto Ks, we're gonna be sort of testing. The Twins and the Phillies are gonna be testing sort of a scheduling thing that Kevin and I were discussing that we want to see if it works. Just like more sort of precise scheduling centered around the schedules of the players who are participating. So we're gonna we don't have a time set yet because it's so like it's kind of far away. But as we get closer, we're gonna set a time to be that picture is so stupid. We're gonna set a time to that works for all the players, and we're gonna try to log a game. We're gonna hope in one night, if not a few days. We really want to sort of experiment with how we can make sessions run faster, because I know Kevin told me when I sort of talked about this that like, yeah, I joined thinking that this would be like games would actually go by like really quickly, like that would be the idea.
Yeah.
I think that'd be better for the league in total. I think that'd be a lot more engaging if your swings weren't once every week, but rather like once every day or even once every few hours. That'd be awesome, I think, to actually like have games that go for maybe the same or similar times to a real game. But yeah, I mean, like we've set up drafts where all 22 GMs were there and responding. We've had a few hiccups in there, but for the most part, both drafts, both the 12-team draft and the 22-team draft, they both worked surprisingly well. And I just think that this is less people. It's going to be something we can try out, and it should work well. I think we can get a game done in a day or a night and really sort of reinvent what this league thinks of as a session. I hope that we can someday get past the 2-week session and go more into like a 1-week session where rather than all games starting on one day and just kind of like haphazardly being made whenever the ump feels like it, instead they get made on one day on like a week span. You get a week span to start the game, and then like the teams will discuss like, okay, I kind of want to start at 7:30 on Wednesday. Oh yeah, that sounds good. That works with me. Yeah, that works with me. And then you get this start where every starter said that it works for them, and then maybe that can make pace of play increase or be better exponentially. I saw a lot of, I don't know. There's some arguments against it. I don't really want to get into them because I'm fucking starving. I want to get
real quick. Just to add on to what Jay said, one of the main reasons for doing this is just because if you think about it and you break out the seasons, it's gonna take us 9+ months to finish this season from the beginning, and that's more than actual baseball players play. So just I don't know.
It's kind of jarring to think of if I want to play 20 seasons of my Reddit game, I will have to spend 20 years.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that yet. But yeah, that's wild. So that's one thing, and then the other thing, if you're interested in the idea, if you agree with it, whatever, just talk about it. Just say that you think it's a good idea or say what you think about it. Because that's really how you change stuff. Even if everyone thinks it's a good idea, if no one says that, if no one talks about it, even if this is a huge success, if no one says anything or push us to get this to change, then we're just going to be playing 2-week sessions for the rest of our lives. So, yep.
Okay. Other than that, I think we are done. Is there anything else? Or wait, is there like an international versus US game?
Yeah, USA versus international. Me and Robin Reynolds, I think that's his last.
If we
K-Car.
If we run the podcast another 4 minutes, we'll make it to 2 hours. Technically, we're over 2 hours now, but 2 hours minus the little increment in the beginning.
At the beginning, yeah.
So maybe talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's an idea that K-Car on the Tampa Bay Devil Rays came up with.
Robin Reynolds.
Robin Reynolds. I think it was mostly because he didn't think he was going to make the All-Star game or something. So he wanted, something interesting to do. And I think it's an interesting idea, international versus USA. We got like 40-something signups total. So that's pretty good numbers if you like remove all the, there was a bunch of All-Star people that signed up that ended up making the All-Star game. So we kind of, X those applications out because they're already playing in something. And then also fucking Lindros signed up on an account. So I fucking kicked them out of that one. And we have like... on Monique Cream Pie. So we have like 18 or something people on each side now. Whit Bass is GMing the USA side, and AJ Preller's DMing the international side. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna ump it, and Robin Reynolds is gonna ump it, and we're gonna try to get everyone some at bats. Yeah, so check it out. Interesting.
2 minutes left.
The GM games. You want to say anything about that?
The GM game. I'm hoping I play in it because I've kind of been missing out on the old timer games. Which
Yeah.
I guess is because I don't know. I had a misunderstanding where people thought I was complaining about being put into the roster when in reality I was just complaining about like being pinged, and I was kind of overplaying it, but people thought it was serious. But yeah, that's the thing that's happening. I think.
What's your position?
I think I'm right field. I was kind of one of the last people to get in on that. I think I'm right.
You weren't ever a player, were you, Jay?
Never. Nada. Not
Yeah.
even once.
That's interesting.
I always think about like if I were a player, what would my name be and what would I do and what team would I pick? That's always an interesting thing. I always think about like what if I become a player, but I don't want to. Well, I don't want to not be a GM. I really love GMing. I really want GMing to become something more, as that's not a secret. I really want the position to have more to it in the future.
What do you mean by that? Like,
well, I was the one who proposed. I proposed not one but two contract systems. So
I'm for those, by the way. Anything that adds like some sort of like interesting, I don't know, I guess it's a role play aspect to the game and complexity to like at least the roster management.
As like a GM, like there's a few GMs here who are who really want to like have an uber comfortable sort of experience, which I understand. I mean, yeah, I get it. But like I also like I want this to be more of a game, and I feel like GMing is very simplistic right now. It's very straightforward by the numbers. And I don't know, I feel like it'd be really nice to sort of experiment. There's a lot of things where like if you propose it in the committee room, it will eventually go down to, well, this is more work or this is like more interaction than I was expecting.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard that exactly from the committee room. And just like you were saying, contracts. That goes right hand in hand with pace of play as well. Like if seasons are literally like 10 months or something, like who is gonna want to do a more than one season contract? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just I feel like there could be a lot of things that are very creative and fun in a system like that, and like
sure.
I'd like to have a chance to sort of refine it. And I know I got a lot of people, Meerkat, Darth, Kyle Mack was big on it. They were Dom Dunkett was big on helping me out with it. So like we were ready to really work on it. So I don't know. It's long season. I'm not entirely giving up on that. But yeah, if you support contracts, I guess put hashtag contracts are good. J is gooder in the game discussion, and people will know you support me and my message. God, I talk some shit on the committee room, so I'm gonna get lipped out about that. But I don't really care. I'm gonna get some food. Thank you everybody for watching. It's been a very fun podcast. This one's a lot more chill, and I think I liked it a little better because
we went hard on it.
Yeah, it was a little more. There's just a little more freedom in what we discussed. But yeah, we're just gonna continue experimenting with the show, adding new shit, adding a lot more different things, and
let us know what you think for sure.
And let us know if you want to be a part of it, because there's a lot of, I mean, like just like in sort of getting these segments we're discussing, getting them off the ground, and maybe giving us suggestions or whatnot. But yeah, we have a few things that are in plan that are planned, that are in store. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you.
Good night.